As you're on YouTube, I'm back, your movie guru, with another review. This time is going to be for a Netflix movie that's been getting quite popular because of the director and who it stars. I'm talking about The Irishman, directed by Martin Scorsese and starring Al Pacino, Joe Pesci, Robert De Niro. So pretty much, the star-studded cast. For those of you who don't know anything about it, it's basically it's a mobster film that it's starring. Or, I mean, it's about Frank Sheeran. He died decades ago, but he claimed he wrote this confession and he claimed to know about what happened to Jimmy Hoffa, the famous Teamsters Union boss who disappeared, and no one ever knew what the official story of whatever happened to him. Everyone assumed that he was murdered, but his remains have never been found. So this is the story of Frank Sheeran, and he starts at the beginning. How he got involved in the mafia crime family, and kind of his rise through the ranks, and his life. So once again, I give you my score right off the bat. I give it an 8 out of 10. It's got a 96% score on Rotten Tomatoes from the critics, with an average rating of 8.87. And then it's got an 86% score as far as fans go, with an average rating of, I believe it's 4.3 out of 5 stars. If you like mobster films, if you like gangster films, the Godfather saga, Road to Perdition, Goodfellas, this fits right along with those. If you enjoy those type of films, you're going to enjoy this. You definitely get your heaping dose of mobster action. This is, I don't want to say like it's a carbon copy. I think that's a little dismissive, but it is well entrenched in the genre, in that you've seen these type of films before. But that said, especially given the platform, like I say, this is not something that you got to leave the comfort of your home. You got to go out to the theaters to see. You got to see in the big screen to enjoy. It's something that came out on Netflix. It's definitely something, given that platform and given the talent and the roster, I think it's 8 out of 10. Definitely well worth watching. You will enjoy it. That said, this movie is very long, 3.5 hours. I know I couldn't sit through just the whole thing and watch it. Not because I got bored at any point. It was just that, yeah, it's hard for me to dedicate that much time to one thing, and then I've got other things going on. And that's kind of the beauty of Netflix, is that you can do that. You can start, you can stop, and pick up where you left off. So you'll I can see that a lot of you viewers might find yourself in that same situation. So getting to a little bit more of an extended review, I really enjoyed the acting. Like I say, if you know gangster films, if you like mobster films, you're already going to know these characters. Robert De Niro, Al Pacino, Joe Pesci, they've starred in their share of mobster films. And so they're kind of reprising their roles here. This is not out of their realm. So it's kind of hard to give them too much credit on their acting, because this is obviously nothing new for them. But that said, they still do it well. Even though this is well within their established realm of proficiency, it's still enjoyable to see. You still like to see it, and they do great jobs at it. Uh, Martin Scorsese, once again, directs really well. That nothing super fancy about the cinematography, but I like the way that the scenes are cut and shot. Everything works, everything flows, and it keeps you invested in the film. The biggest takeaway, like I say, that if I had to say something that was a downside to the film, was just that the length. Some of the things that you understand that this is this guy's story. This is kind of his biopic, and so there's things that they had to go through. Even in that same vein, you do feel like, okay, maybe there's some things that they could have cut out. Some scenes that, or some circumstances where I didn't have to know everything. I didn't have to see every little detail. Just because, like I say, once again, it is 3.5 hours, and it's really, I guess, kind of hard to really understand just how long that is until you try and sit and watch this movie from beginning to end. Because I did find myself that even though I wasn't bored, I was definitely at times very cognizant of, wow, this film is still going. This film, I'm 2 hours in. I'm like, wow, this still has an hour left to go. There's still things that have to happen. So if I had to use something as a takeaway, it would be the length. And then maybe, this is maybe kind of nitpicking here, but if given the stature of Robert De Niro and that a lot of people know him really well, one of the things that they tried to do to play, as he plays this character from beginning to end, when he's younger all the way up to as he's aging, in this crime family, they chose to mess with his eye color, I guess, to more match the actual Frank Sheeran. And I don't know if they did CGI or color contacts or something, but it's kind of really distracting. And you see this for the entire film. And if you know Robert De Niro, that's not his eye color. And so that really does kind of, it seems nitpicky, but it does kind of distract you because it's not, so much that, hey, this guy's eyes were blue maybe and naturally, and then, they made him green, or, if they were brown and they made it like yellowish, hueish, something that is different but kind of matches. But this did not match Robert De Niro's eyes at all, and so it's very noticeable. And even as the movie goes on, I didn't find myself becoming less distracted by it. Like, it doesn't, okay, that's something new, that's something I didn't expect, but as the film goes on, I've forgotten about it. Like, from the first frame to the end, I still definitely noticed Robert De Niro's eyes. So maybe that's just me. I don't know if everyone will have that same experience. But length and then Robert De Niro's eyes. That said, if that's the only two things that you can take away as a negative to a movie, then it's probably a pretty good movie. So that's my score, 8 out of 10. Definitely, given that it's worth Netflix, like I say, it's worth watching. Get you some popcorn, get your slippers, get your robe, check it out. It is enjoyable. Like I say, and then especially for that genre, people that love gangster films, this is right up your alley. I won't say necessarily that it does anything new in the genre, but the tale is definitely something that's interesting enough that it's worth revisiting. That's all for this one. Thank you guys for watching. Hit the like, hit the subscribe button if you like what you see. Send me a comment. Let me know what you think. Once again, I appreciate the support, guys. Thank you.